Hi, my name is Annie Borden, and I'm the Executive Director of CarShare Vermont. CarShare Vermont is a local community-based nonprofit, and we provide a car sharing service. And what car sharing is, it's a fairly new mobility trend. It gives people and organizations access to a network of cars that are parked in different neighborhoods all over town. We currently have 10 vehicles parked throughout Burlington that our 520 members can use whenever they need to drive. With car sharing, you have access to a car when you need it, and you pay for it when you actually drive a vehicle. When you don't need to use our service, you don't pay for it. So it's very different from owning a car, which you pay for whether or not you actually drive it. So the intent behind car sharing is that we're trying to make vehicles available to folks who need them, but we're trying to reduce car dependence by giving people access to cars without requiring that you own a car to be able to drive. With car sharing, with our service, you can use a car for as little as 30 minutes, or you can take a car out of town, out of state, for as many days as you need. We charge by the hour or by the day for folks who do need to go on a longer distance trip. And our service is proven to help people reduce the number of cars that they own. So we have a lot of household members who were previously 2-car families, and now they only own 1 car. And when they need an additional car, they can use one of ours. If they need a pickup truck, they can drive our pickup truck. So the idea with car sharing is that we have different types of vehicles to help meet people's different driving needs. And so it's a very convenient, affordable, environmentally friendly alternative to owning a car.
So like Annie mentioned, in order to use access our vehicles, you do have to become a member of CarShare Vermont. But once you are a member, you have your own personal key fob, which looks like this. This is a little electronic device that gives you access to the vehicles. We'll teach you how to use our 2 reservation systems. You can make reservations for the cars 24/7, 365 days a year. Whenever you need a car, you would either use our online reservation system, which you would log into using your personal login information, or you would use our phone system, which you would dial the phone number and enter your login information and reserve a car that way. So our systems are all self-accessible any time of day. You don't have to stop by our office when you need a car, fill out extra paperwork, anything like that. Just go online or call the phone number, reserve for a car when you need it. And then when your reservation begins, make sure you have your key fob. The key fob is used to access the car, like I said. You basically hold the fob up to the reader. There's a reader installed on every single car. Hold it up, doors will unlock, and then you're inside the vehicle. You take your trip, do everything you need to do, just like you would in your own personal vehicle. If you're in the truck, you pick up your mulch or gardening supplies, move furniture, whatever you need to do with the truck or a car, and park it in the same place at the end of your trip and relock. Walk away.
How you pay for car sharing works like this, and the difference between car sharing versus paying for a car that you own. With CarShare Vermont, you do have to become a member, and that's because insurance is included, comprehensive insurance. So we have to check each member's driving record. It doesn't take us very long. We can turn around an application the same day, but there is a one-time $30 application fee. Once the applicant is approved for membership, they are given a key fob, which is a little handy electronic device that you can put on your keychain, and that gives you access to the car whenever you need to go on a trip. You pay in 2 ways, by the hour and by the mile. In this way, if you drive a short distance, you're going to pay a little amount, and if you need to drive all the way to Boston or beyond and back, you're going to pay more. So the more you drive, the more you pay. Our rates are about $4.95 an hour and 25 cents per mile. That's just the hourly rate, and again, we do offer day rates as well. And what that translates to, and those rates are all inclusive. They include gas, insurance, roadside assistance, we wash the cars, maintenance, you name it. The cars will be fully taken care of. So let's say you go grocery shopping for an hour or 2. You're going to spend about $10 to do your errands. In contrast, when you own a vehicle, according to AAA, the average cost to own a car last year, in 2010, was about $500 per month. That does not include the cost of actually operating the vehicle. So those are just the ownership costs, such as a lease or loan payment or depreciation if the car is owned outright, maintenance, fuel, winter tires, insurance, all of those kind of big fixed costs really add up on a monthly basis. The cost to drive that car on a daily basis or not are actually pretty small compared to the cost of owning. With car sharing, we take all of those high fixed costs and we put them into bite-sized pieces proportional to how much one drives. And this is what makes car sharing more affordable than owning a car for many people, because they can forget about those high fixed costs and only pay when they are actually driving. So if you look at what a CarShare Vermont member pays to share vehicles on a regular basis versus what somebody pays to own a car, there's about, on average, a $300 savings per month. Most CarShare Vermont members spend less than $100 a month for their CarShare membership. When they own a vehicle, they're going to spend upwards of $300 or $400 a month on average. So there's a big savings there. The other interesting thing about car sharing is because it makes the cost of driving so apparent, you know exactly, when you book your trip, what it's going to cost because you're going to pay by the hour and the mile. Knowing this information and being more aware and mindful of the true cost of driving creates this real shift in behavior, and people tend to drive a lot less once they join a car sharing organization. So in addition to saving money, people have financial incentive to find more affordable ways of getting around, like walking, biking, busing, carpooling, and they tend to drive a lot less because all of a sudden they're just more aware of how much it really costs to drive the vehicle. So different studies have been done around the country, and they show that when people join a car sharing organization, they tend to reduce the amount they drive by about half, which is pretty significant. So in addition to driving less, they're saving a bundle because most likely they are owning fewer vehicles, either individually or as part of a household. So it's pretty fascinating. Anybody can join CarShare Vermont who's at least 18 and has a clean driving record. We also require that our members have at least 2 years of driving experience. So if somebody is new to this country or has just recently been licensed, they will have to wait a couple of years before they can actually drive our cars, and that's for insurance purposes. Beyond that, the ideal person who joins CarShare Vermont ranges from a college-age student who occasionally needs access to a car while they're here at school in Vermont, to households that are trying to downsize the number of vehicles that they own. They may own 2 or 3 cars. They hold on to that extra vehicle because they need it part of the time. With the arrival of CarShare Vermont, they can ditch cars that they don't need and use our cars when their driving needs expand beyond what their family currently owns. So a lot of our members are families, households that are trying to increase their mobility without having to own extra cars than they actually need and save a little bit of money. Car sharing is also perfect for people who don't own a car, whether by choice or necessity. Cars are really expensive to own and operate, and CarShare Vermont makes car use really affordable. So we have a lot of folks who actually are completely car-free by choice because they don't want to spend their money on the high maintenance and operating costs of owning a car. And with CarShare Vermont, they can use a car whenever they need to, but at a fraction of the cost, which is really helpful. We also serve businesses and organizations. There are a number of businesses that face real parking challenges if their employees are constantly every day need to drive to work. With CarShare Vermont, people can get to work by another mode, by walking, biking, taking the bus. If they need a car during the day for work purposes or to get to an appointment, they can use CarShare Vermont. So it's a way to help people choose how they want to commute without being so reliable on their cars. Anyone who would like to learn more about CarShare Vermont, we welcome you to give us a call at 802-861-2340 or visit our downtown office, which is located at 131 St. Paul Street, right in Burlington, across from City Hall Park. You can find us on the web at carsharevt.org. And you can also shoot us an email at info@carsharevt.org. And we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to answer your questions. And we hope that CarShare Vermont can work for you.